Hi guys, I'm Jessie Schneiderman here at The Room Live with an amazing guest who I'm so excited to interview now. Her name's Julie Swatek, and she literally went from scraps to riches, thanks Robin for that tagline. She was finding out that she was going to be losing her job. She was pregnant with her second child, and then 5 years later she became the owner and president of a multi-million-dollar online business. And I'm dying to find out how, because this story seems too good to be true, but I know that it's not. It's too good and it's too true. So let's hear it for Julie Swatek.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Julie.
Hey there, how are you? Thanks for having me.
How are you? Thanks for coming.
No problem. Hey, now before we get started, I'm actually from Florida, and obviously we're here in California, and my children, I told my children they could stay up late. And so they could watch me get started. So, hi Lauren, hi Logan, love you. Go to bed. And I would also just like to say, I sent an email out to all my amazing customers today telling them that I was going to be on, and I know we have several hundred people in the chat room right now, so
yeah,
thanks
crazy.
everybody for stopping by.
Well, it seems like you have a lot of really dedicated fans, so I want to start from the beginning.
Okay, start from the beginning.
Tell me everything.
Tell you everything. Let's see. I'm a fourth generation entrepreneur, and so I always knew I was going to have my own company, but I just never really knew what it was. You know, watching my parents are serial entrepreneurs, so like to start a company was actually really not a big deal. That's what happened when I was younger, and so. But you have to be really passionate about it. Like you have to be so incredibly passionate about it because it's a lot of work, and you eat it, live it, sleep it, breathe it, everything. So I always knew I was going to have a business. I just never knew what it was. So when my daughter Lauren was born, I walked into a scrapbook store, and it was one of those times in your life when you realize that there is an entire world that exists out there that you knew nothing about. And my jaw hit the floor. It was like row after row of all these cool stickers and papers, and I was like instantly hooked. And I carted my poor, 3-month-old child to every scrapbook store in like a 100-mile radius of Orlando, Florida.
And were there a lot of stores that were scrapbooking stores?
Yeah. And so I knew that I had found what it was that I was passionate about.
Yeah.
And that how was I going to turn that into business? So I kind of really stewed around in the back of my head for 2 years, a little over 2 years, and then I had a job, J-O-B is what us entrepreneurs call them. Don't want a J-O-B.
I haven't heard that. I like that. Well, I've also heard you be called a mompreneur. A mompreneur.
Mompreneur.
Is that saying
yes,
right? Mompreneur.
A mompreneur, yeah.
I like that word.
I'm making up buzzwords. So anyway, so when my son was born, I was 5.5 months pregnant with him. I'd been working in my corporate job for 6 years that I loved. I was the financial reporting and budgeting manager, and everything was fine. And my company went through a merger, and one day, it was funny, I was thinking about this the other day, I can remember my boss calling us all to lunch, and he started to cry. And when we saw him start to cry, everybody went,
that's not
oh,
good.
This is not good.
That's not good.
So anyway, at that point, like I said, I was 5.5 months pregnant, second child, so already showing. And my last day of work was the day that he was due to be born. So
it's like fate.
Yeah, and then we had gone on vacation, and I love to travel, and we were on vacation in Utah, which actually, you speak about fate. I think this was a little universe thing going on, but we were in Utah, which is actually the birthplace of scrapbooking. And
what do you mean?
It is.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, that's where scrapbooking started.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. So it was kind of weird. And the thing is I didn't put that together until years later. And I was like, well, that is so weird. Like there were like scrapbooking things in the air or whatever. And that idea came to me. So we were on our trip, and I was like, well, now wait a second. And the thing is, like, I always knew from the very beginning, and don't ask me how because I started back in 2002. So the e-commerce and online,
it was just in the
very beginning, and it was a fake business as far as everybody was concerned.
Right.
So, but first off, I didn't have like $250,000 to go start a store, like an actual brick and mortar store, and the other thing is like, you can't be all things to all people.
Right.
Or I didn't want to be all things to all people. So one of the things I always say is we don't sell everything. We don't sell a little bit of everything. We sell everything of a little bit.
I read that, and I just thought that was so so on point. And just if you're looking for, I mean, it's just a genius idea because you can't. Genius. She's a genius.
I'm a genius.
Well, it's true because if you went out and you were like, we're going to sell all things scrapbooking, it would be a different story.
Well, and the thing about the scrapbooking industry is you think about it, people are making layouts. And so if whatever it is they're scrapbooking, they've used that. So now they're looking for something else. They're looking for something new. They're looking for something different. And I was like, there is just no way that I'm going to be able to keep up with that and do it well. And if I can't do it well, I don't want to do it.
Right.
So in Utah on vacation, I got it. Travel. I love to travel,
You were traveling?
Well, and think about, if you think back to your childhood, or, what are some of the best memories of your life when you're on your vacation?
Those are usually the times also when you take the most pictures.
You take the most pictures, right.
You're not usually taking pictures when you're just sitting at home. Well, maybe you do.
Scrapbookers do.
I guess I do too.
Scrapbookers take pictures because they've found a really cool paper and they want to use it for a layout, so they
really?
stage it so
That's
that they
amazing.
Can use it. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
So anyway, so the whole idea of travel came to me. So we came up with Scrap Your Trip. And it's so funny because if you're a scrapbooker, you completely understand what that name means.
Really?
But everybody else is like, why would you start a business about canceling your vacation? I'm like, never mind. So anyway, so that's how it kind of came about. And I was losing my job, and actually I spent a lot of the time as I was, closing down the company, or my part of the company, I, actually spent a lot of time at work trying to get my website put together and everything.
So, the truth comes out.
Well, hey, well, didn't you fire me? It's already fired. Anyway.
They had it coming.
They had it coming. Well, no, not really. It was actually a really great company to work for. So I knew absolutely nothing about this. Nothing.
Because that's normally the problem. I was saying before that I was telling my parents and my sister to watch because we literally sit around the table all the time and come up with thousands of ideas, and we're like, oh my God, this is the best idea, we have to do this, and then nothing ever comes of it. So I've sort of taken myself out of the conversations because I'm like, why am I even wasting the time talking about this? We're not going to do anything about it. But I was like, let's watch this tonight and let's do something about it, you guys. Let's make money.
Well, two things. So I started looking through scrapbook magazines, and I noticed in all of the ads, it said, see us at, well, at that point it's called ACCI, see us at ACCI booth, whatever. ACCI. I'm like, what is this?
What's ACCI?
So I started looking at it, and it was the scrapbooking industry trade show, which actually is going on in, that's why I'm here, actually, by the way. We're looking at all sorts of new, really cool, amazing scrapbook products in down Anaheim. So
there's all these different booths of different vendors.
Yeah, everybody's showing their new stuff for 2010.
Cool.
So that's been really cool. But I totally lost my train of thought.
You were reading in the magazines about all the ACCI.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, wow, what is this show? And oh my God, this is the major show of the year. So in order to register to attend the show, I had to be the business.
You have to have a business.
I had to be the business. So I had to get the tax number, and I had to do this, and I had to do this, and I had to make business cards. And so really my intention was to go to the show to just kind of check it out, see if it was a viable idea.
But you created your own business.
But I kind of had to start the business in order to go to the show. And so then I told a couple people about my idea, and because we were really one of the first scrapbooking websites that specialized like we do. And so everybody was like, oh, that's one of the best ideas I've ever heard. So I just came home, and I was really, really excited. And then I knew, again, absolutely nothing about e-commerce or online or websites or any of that
stuff. And this was in 2002?
This was in 2002.
Okay.
So I bought myself a book called The Dummies Book, Starting an Online Business for Dummies. And
oh my God, I've always wondered if those books work.
Sat down with my little online dummies book, and I started, it's called the Yahoo Store. And it's actually, it's great because I sat down that day, and by the end of the day, I had the entire backbone of the store built. I built it myself. Online. And, oh, look, I built it myself. It's funny, I look back at it now, and I'm like, oh, but it was there, and it started. And, one of the things, people build websites or businesses, and they think oh, everybody's going to show up, and that doesn't really happen.
Right. You have to drive traffic to it.
Yeah, you have to drive traffic to it. And I was very fortunate because, because my whole company was closing down, I sent an email to everybody that I knew, including, I worked for a hotel management company, so I sent that email to all the everybody, all the general managers, everybody I knew, and they'd come to look, and it's a funny story. In the back end of the Yahoo store, the office part, when you get an order, there's a little red asterisk.
Wait, does it look like a store?
No, it's like a dashboard sort of thing.
Okay.
So when
were you in the store?
No.
Like you can see it?
No. So when you get an order, there's a little red asterisk, right?
Okay.
Well, now remember, at this point, I'm probably 6, 7, maybe 8 months pregnant. And so I log on to look at it, and there's a red asterisk, and I would go, ah! And like 12 people come rushing in my office.
Oh my God!
They thought something was wrong.
Oh my God!
So it's just really kind of funny. But no, I mean, I think the other thing, if you guys come up with, we come up with all of these ideas. I came up with the idea I attended that trade show in June, and I said, I'm going to be done by Labor Day weekend.
Done creating the store.
Website's going live. I had gone to a crop. That's what us scrapbookers call when we all get together and work on stuff. So I had gone.
You guys have so much lingo.
Oh yeah, we have. I told you, it's a whole world. So I had gone to this crop, and I started passing around my business card, and with my website on it that I had to have made to go to the show, and it said open 9/4. So I put it out there, and then I had to get it done. So I started it. I had $17,000 in inventory. Which is a lot of money, but is not a lot of money.
Right.
And out of half of the spare bedroom in my house.
So what did you do when you got that first order, besides screaming and making everyone nervous? What do you do?
Well, we keep all our own products. So, I had paper racks with all the paper, and I had all the products, and I had I have to tell you about my box.
Tell me about your box.
I had the box from the post office, and hang on, I'll get there in just a second. And so it's like, they want one of these, and 2 of these, and 3 of these, and let me put it in the box and give it to the mailman. And actually, kind of what happened, one of the things that's been just an amazing thing that has happened to me is a couple of years ago, the National Postal Forum was in Orlando, and I had the opportunity to speak to all the managers at the post office, and kind of got to know the guy who runs package services out of Washington, D.C., and he said, I like you, I'm going to make you a box. And so they made a level of specialized packaging for me. They've only done that. I'm the second e-commerce store that they've ever done that for. The first one, I don't know if you ever heard of a little company called eBay.
No.
Yeah, so
eBay
got a box and I got a box.
Wait, it's eBay and you?
Yeah.
You and eBay.
Wild?
That's it.
Yeah. It took them like 18 months because literally it went all the way through Washington, but it's really cool. So yeah, we have our
and
own.
Just because
I rock.
Because you rock.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, no, I mean we are.
That's insane.
We're a very big priority mail shipper for the United States Postal Service now, so we ship a lot of packages out. But it's really cool. It's designed specifically for scrapbooking products because that piece of paper that
you don't. It would be so wasteful to have like a whole box.
Well, no. The thing, it can't get bent. It needs to be protected because it's not just a piece of paper to the person who's using it.
Yeah.
It's the backstory to their memory and their life. And if it's got a crease in it, now my backstory kind of looks not like I wanted it to look like.
So how does it not bend?
It's 15 by 15 and it's flat. So unless the mailman puts his knee in it to get it in the mailbox, it doesn't bend.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Thanks.
You have your own box.
I have my own box. Yes. Yeah.
So how did you? Okay, I know you started the store and you read the Online for Dummies.
Yeah.
But how did you then make it into this thriving business? I mean, because like you said, you have to drive traffic to it.
Well, I for 2 years I didn't really. The first year, it wasn't really successful.
Let's be honest here.
And to be quite honest with you, I think it was like midway through the second year, I just wanted to sell it.
Yeah.
And be done because I'd been at it for 2 years. I worked all day. Full time.
So what were you doing all day? You were
I was fulfilling orders, answering customer service emails, ordering new product, looking at, look at how, let's get that and try that, and putting products on the, I mean, it was me. It was just
you.
me. It was just me for at least 2 years. And then I had a part-time employee that came in on Thursdays. And she opened up all of the boxes of product that came in and put it away. So, but at this point I was still in my house.
And you weren't making enough profit that it was worth it for you.
No. No, actually, and so what I have to tell you is, so 2 years into it, 2 years into it, I got this ebook called Yahoo Store Profits, because I had this Yahoo store, and so I was trying to learn some things, and that was done by a guy by the name of Andy Jenkins. And one day he sent out an email saying that he had interviewed this guy by the name of Brad Fallon, who had bought his book and started a website called My Wedding Favors, and they had done like $80,000, and I'm like, wait a minute. So there was like this hour-and-a-half interview that he did, and I was like, this was amazing. And so they said, oh, well, we're going to put together this whole, we're going to do this, like, we did all these interviews, and so we're going to send these out. So it took a couple months for them to put it together, and I paid $400 for this program called Stomping the Search Engines. And
it's a CD that you got?
It was a 9 CD set, and prior to that, I understood nothing about SEO, search engine optimization, how people find you. Pretty much all the business that I'd gotten by that point was kind of by luck and by word of mouth. Because as I said earlier, I have fantastic customers, and we make our customers really happy, so they tell other people. So we had grown, but I mean, not enough. So I listened to those CDs.
So it's audio CDs?
They were audio CDs.
That's a lot of audio.
It was a lot of audio. And I'll tell you, I would listen to them in the car when I was going to pick my kids up, and I can remember my daughter going, oh no, not Google again!
Oh, no, it would have killed my mom.
But I didn't understand, I didn't understand it. And I can remember one day thinking to myself, there are 100 PhDs that work at Google on the Google algorithm, and so the fact that you're having a little trouble wrapping your brain around this, you should probably cut yourself some slack. So what I learned from listening to that was because I mean the whole idea is if you're selling something online, you want people to be able to find you, right? I mean, like, what a concept. So that, right, but I didn't know how to do that prior to that. So anyway, so I bought that program, I started listening to it, I finished with the 9 CDs, and the next month my revenue tripled.
Wait a minute, back it up, beep, beep, hold on. What, if you didn't really understand, excuse me, I just give a layman, if you didn't really understand what was going on, how did you translate that into your business? Well, were you making specific changes?
Well, there's things called keywords, okay?
Okay, I know what those are.
You know what those are, right? Okay. So it's what people are typing to find you.
Right.
Well, I didn't even know what keywords were. I mean, literally. So to say, oh, okay, well, like we sell Disney scrapbooking supplies or travel scrapbooking. So if you type those words into Google, our website will come up. But it didn't prior to that because I didn't know what a keyword was.
So there were a few things that you learned while not understanding like all of the technological things that were going on in the CDs. There were a few things that were like legitimate, like things. Here's how you do it. You can do this, like the keyword thing.
Do this, do that.
So you just did like a couple of those things.
Yeah, and that month I made some changes to the website. Understood the light bulbs that started going off.
Right.
And so made a couple changes to the website, and I went from $5,000 to $15,000 in revenue that month, and then which was huge.
Right.
And then
you had been sort of plateaued
for 2.5 years.
For 2.5 years.
So a couple months later, they sent out another thing saying that they were going to start this apprentice program, and it was $5,000.
Okay, which was what you were making at that time.
Well, no, that's not what I was making. That's what I was selling.
Right.
So a big difference between selling and making.
Right.
So I mean it was like $50,000. If what now or whatever. It might as well.
That's a lot of money.
It could have been $5 million. It's just a huge amount of money. But I just had to. I'm like, no, I got to do this. I got to do this. So
it's also hard to know if it's legit or not. Or if you're really gonna, because there's so many people out there trying to.
There's a lot of I mean everybody gets those emails from Nigeria and Kenya.
Oh yeah, I've gotten those.
We can help your site rank in the search engine.
I thought I bought a puppy one time, but it didn't work out.
I'm so sorry.
It was really sad. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, moving on. So anyway, so we had to apply, and I had to write out all this thing of why I wanted to join this, and then basically it was this apprentice program, and we had the two of them. I had a phone call every Tuesday night at 8:30 for 5 months. And
for how long?
Like
each phone call?
Yeah, like hour and a half or whatever.
Were you sitting in like your room just talking to them?
Yeah, just talking. Yeah, it was our little group. And it's interesting because I still am in contact with all those people because almost all of us were pretty successful.
Wow.
With what they taught us.
Really?
So yeah, the next year, my business grew 685% in 1 year.
Oh my God.
So, which was really interesting because I was still working out of the house by that point. So
how did you manage that? Was your whole house a scrapbook?
The whole back of it was a mess. It was me and 3 employees in a bedroom. It was so fun. That was in 2004, and like there were 4 hurricanes came through Central Florida in a 6-week period of time.
What about all your paper?
My whole office got flooded. Yeah, it was really interesting. So I mean, really, when I look back and I realized like what I accomplished in that year, never, it's amazing what you can accomplish when you do it. So I said, I have to move out of the house. This is not a home-based business anymore. Yeah. And so I gotta go. I gotta go. So I went, I got commercial space. It was so funny because I'm in a bedroom. My first commercial space was like 768 square feet, which was like triple the size of what I had. And so I'm like, oh, I'll be here forever, right? 5.5 months later, we had to move.
Oh my gosh.
And then 18 months later after that, we moved. And then 18 months later, we've moved. So we just, every time I triple my space. Why don't you guys
just plan and make it bigger?
Well,
that's amazing. I mean, that's incredible to have to.
Yeah, so
now you have a huge warehouse.
We have a 7,000 square foot warehouse. It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, because
would you suggest? I mean, so you did this apprentice program, and that's really what you say. Mm-hmm. So would you suggest people that people have to do something sort of like that in order to?
You have to understand how to sell online, right. And you have to understand how to get people to find you. You have to be where people are looking for what they're looking for. Unless you're Amazon, then everybody knows to go there. But the amazing thing about an e-commerce business or online business is I can you can compete with the big guys and you can do it better than them, and nobody knows like you're fulfilling orders at your kitchen table.
Yeah, that's so incredible.
And so the basics of search engine optimization. I mean, it's a basic thing. If do this, and then do that, and then do that. So actually, it's called Stompernet now.
Stompernet.
Yeah. So plug for Stompernet over there. So.
Well, that's incredible. And so now, what are your plans for the future now? Are you just continuing to grow, and are you going to think about getting a bigger space like next year?
Yeah, well, when we moved and we took over, we were in 1 suite, and we took 3 suites, and we went, oh, we'll never need more room, and now we're all like, we need more room again. But one of the things that we started doing a couple of years ago that has just been really fun and kind of fulfilling is we started making our own products. Because, well, and actually it kind of came from this show that I'm at, this Craft and Hobby Association. Every time before I go, I ask my customers, because that's one of the reasons why I'm successful, because I ask my customers what they want,
right.
And then I do that.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I just let my secret to business out. I ask them what they want,
be writing this down.
And then I do that. Okay. So anyway, I always ask people, what are you looking for? And what I discovered after asking this a couple times is what people were asking me for was really specific, but what was being made was kind of generic.
And I noticed that about your website. I was having a look at all the stuff, and the specificity is incredible. There's scrapbooking, 4-wheel ATV scrapbooking.
Hunting, fishing.
Paddle sports.
Yes.
I was like, there's enough people who do paddle sports, and then and working out, wine and beer. I thought that would be a fun scrapbook.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, that's people's life.
Well, that's what's so incredible about this website, because you can't find anything like that specific anywhere.
Exactly.
You cannot, especially if you go to a store.
And you're right.
A real live store.
Yes, you're right.
There's no chance you are going to find paddle sports scrapbooking paper.
No. So, you know, we started with travel, so it was Scrap Your Trip. We sell supplies for like over 80 countries, all 50 states, and anything you could have possibly thought of that you wanted to do on your vacation. So then, because I asked my customers, and they told me, and then I did that.
She's too good.
We branched out into military. We have a lot of military customers that travel.
Wow.
You know, either they're you know, like military wives. A lot of military wives are scrapbooking with their husbands as they're deployed overseas.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, I had a group. They're not together anymore. They kind of disbanded, but they were the Cairo croppers. They were still they're stationed in Cairo.
Cropping, right? That's
cropping,
a term.
Cropping, right? So you know, so we branched out into the military, and then the other thing that people started asking us to carry, because even when I was small and only carried just travel, people would say like, oh, can you find this? Can you find that? And so again, go ahead and ask. I'll do it. So we branched out. We sell sports. So we sell like 70 different sports categories, like paddle sports and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, what I noticed was what people want was really, really specific, because it's their memory, you know. And if you're into paddle sports, you know, you don't want a basketball on there. So anyway, so
because that's not paddle sports.
No. So we started making our own products, and so.
So would you make them just customizable to order, or you decided to get really specific?
We do both.
You do both.
We do both. We actually, what we started with are laser die. Well, we didn't have a laser in the beginning, but they're die cuts, and basically it's kind of
I saw that on the website. I didn't know what die cuts were.
Kind of a paper piecing sort of a thing. Lots of different layers.
Okay.
And we've gotten a lot better at it. Actually, my lead designer Tiffany is with me over there. Hi,
Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiff. I tell her this all the time, but it's interesting to see the evolution of her designing over the years that she's worked for me.
It's gotten a lot better.
It's just got a lot. Well, I mean, you know, because like, you know, oh, maybe let me try that. Oh, that worked, and let me try this. So you know, we're able to make all sorts of intricate. You know, we go as simple as just a title. You know, and we custom make titles. So you know, like we could make something that says "The Room Live."
Oh.
Did you hear that, Robin?
Do you guys want a Room Live scrapbook?
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, we make those for the most unique of destinations or just anything. So, you know, we have a bunch of designers on staff, and we come up with a list of things, and, you know, what is it that people are looking for. And then last year, we started doing the same thing with scrapbooking paper. Because again, people are looking for stuff that's really, really specific. Yeah.
So what besides like the paper that goes in the background, what other things can you buy like for scrapbooking?
Oh, we sell a lot of stickers and embellishments and stuff. Now, I will tell you, you know, like one of the things that I've kind of always not done. Good idea, bad idea, I don't really know. I don't sell stuff you can buy at Walmart.
Okay.
Because you can just go to Walmart and get it.
Yeah. And you probably will.
And you probably will, or you're going to go, you know, to like Michael's with a 40% off coupon. So you know, like
So what do they sell? I don't know. What do they sell at Walmart that's different?
Well, we don't. We sell some of it, but you know, like if you, the glues, the fancy scissors, you know, all of the and again the more generic kind of stuff.
Right, because you will just go and get that.
Yeah. So you know, I have a limited amount of space because eventually I'm going to have to stop expanding my warehouse. And you know, I mean, really a limited amount of money that I want to have invested in the inventory that I sell. And so, and you know, again, I had sent a survey out to all my customers saying, do you want me to carry this stuff?
Oh, that's great, yeah.
And the overwhelming response was no, I can go get that somewhere else.
Yeah.
Please do what you do best, and what you do best is sell what I can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
So we've just kind of stuck with that as a theme going forward.
It's been a big part of your success is your customer base and that interaction between you and them. Oh,
huge. I mean,
because that's a really, to ask them if you need that and they say no, I mean, that's huge to be able to ask everyone. I mean, that's another great thing about being, you know, online.
Yeah. You know, I say I say all the time, this business was built on customer service. You know, when it was just me by myself, you know, if somebody ordered, and I mean, I would literally drive to the airport every night to take the packages to the post office so that they would go out that day.
Oh my God.
And you know, I mean, we're a lot bigger now. I have, you know, 20 employees, but I'll give this example. On Christmas Eve, or no, we closed the office on Christmas Eve and of course Christmas Day. And it was the 23rd. I'd sent everybody home early for the day, and I was... You're welcome. And so I was just checking to see, you know, just a last check of the orders that had come in, and I saw that somebody had placed an order and they had asked for it to be overnighted. Can I please receive this order on the 24th? And so and now I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but you know, I mean, I don't do that anymore. So I'm like, well, I know how to get an order out the way I know how to get an order out. Right. So I'm just going to get the order out the door, and I'll leave it, and I'll let them fix it the way that it's supposed to be done. So you know, I got her order out to her and everything, and I sent her an email afterwards and said, did you get, you know, because she said, oh, she needed it for her daughter, and I said, what'd your daughter think of the scrapbook? And she said both her and her husband cried.
Oh,
so,
that's so sweet.
Yeah. You know, but the thing is, and I'll say this, I mean, like, I don't do things like that because, I mean, I do things like that because that's who I am.
Right.
And that's the kind of business that I want. But now, okay, so, I mean, like, that woman is probably going to tell maybe somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
And she'll definitely be a repeat customer.
Yeah, she's going to be a repeat customer.
For life.
So, yeah. So.
And so what do you do now day to day? Because now you're this big businesswoman.
I wouldn't go that far. You know, it's interesting. I have my wonderful operations manager, Lonnie, back there as well. Woo! And so I can tell you that, you know, I don't really do a lot of day-to-day stuff anymore. She handles all of that. And
so you went from doing every single thing yourself.
Every single little thing myself.
You are the owner of the company, and you...
Yeah. You know, I mean, obviously, I work 40 to 50 hours a week, so right. I still have lots of things that I do, but I'm able to be a lot more visionary for the company now than opposed to, you know, like the day-to-day stuff. And I'll tell you, it was actually really interesting this past weekend. You know, I used to, I've worked every weekend, I take products on and off the website, I, you know, import them into our back-end order system, all that sort of stuff. Well, you know, we finally turned that over to an employee, and okay. All right, you guys back there.
Your staff rocks.
My staff.
There are 1,000 employees in here.
So I was out of town this past weekend, and it was so interesting because literally, I was telling Lonnie this before we came over here today. This past weekend was literally the first time in 7 years that I felt like the owner of the company.
Wow.
Because I was out of town at a different event. The trade show started yesterday, and they went to the trade show. I wasn't there. But I mean, I came in today for it, but like, it was like, wow, like, they got it, you know, it's fine. I don't have to be there. I don't have to do it.
To be able to let go.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's hard to let go. It's your baby,
right.
And, you know, all of those sorts of things, but if you have good staff, you can do it.
Well, I have to also bring up, because when I was researching about you online, I noticed a woman, Julie Swatek, and then when you came in today, I was I was like, I think there's some identity theft going on here because you look totally different. So would you like to tell us about your transformation?
My transformation? You know, it's 2009 was a very interesting year for me personally. I'm in the midst of a divorce from my husband of 13 years.
Oh, wow.
And so it is a literal year of transformation.
Yes.
You know, long story, won't get into all of it, but somebody died. And, you know, when he was killed in a car accident. They're coming back from vacation. The car flipped, hit the median. He hit his head, and he was killed on impact, and he was 39 years old. And I just went, wow, like if life can change in an instant, and if I can die just like that, then this can't be me when I die. It just can't be. This just can't be as good as it ever gets for me. So yes, it's been a year of transformation. I changed my hair. I lost 45 pounds.
Incredible.
So
you look amazing. I'm sure you feel now on the outside as good as you felt on the inside.
You know,
Sometimes
I do, and I can tell you it's interesting. A couple of months after I asked for the divorce, I was on an airplane, and we hit a bunch of turbulence, and the plane like dropped, and you know, and it was, you know, you always have that split second of I'm gonna die, and so I had my I'm gonna die, and I went, oh, it would be okay.
Oh wow.
And that was just a really powerful moment for me. So
wow.
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's you know, it's not ever anything that you wish for. It's not what little girls grow up and think their life is going to be. You know, I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I have a 7-year-old son, and I didn't want them to see. I didn't want them to see that as the model for their life. And you know, it's just been so fascinating for my kids to tell me all the time how happy I am now. So
that's so great.
So.
And do you think that
now my soon-to-be ex-husband was a wonderful guy, so I don't want to say, you know, I mean, like he was a great guy. He just wasn't my guy,
right?
You know, so
yeah. And you know, clearly you went through a huge transformation, and not only, you know, physically and mentally, but also with your business. I mean, and people change. Yeah. So that's really incredible that now you've gotten to that place where you're so happy with yourself, because I think that is the most important.
Yeah. It's so cool. And you know, one of the things that's just been so overwhelming for me, really, I mean, I can remember on December 30th, because I closed the office on December 31st.
What a good boss!
I can remember I just sat in my office and I said, you know, this is the worst year of my life that has ended as the best year of my life.
Wow.
Because, I'm going to get all choked up here. I'm responsible for me. And because I am in the wonderfully fortunate position that I am in, I'm fine. I can still feed my kids. You know, I mean, so many women that go through a divorce and they're just, you know, financially devastated and they drop to poverty level, and that's not me. And, you know, I just sat there and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. You know, I started this business from nothing. I've grown it to a almost $3 million company, and I'm gonna be fine. You know, if it all disappeared tomorrow, I know how to, see, that's the thing. Like, okay, so here's the thing. When you and your mom and your sisters talk about it, once you do it once, you can do it again.
Yeah.
Because really what it boils down to, really, is believing that you can.
Yeah, and taking that step.
Yeah. You know,
like when you had to just make that stuff up to go to the ACI.
Yeah, because, I mean, you don't know what you're doing, and so you try this, and if it works, great, and if not, and you try something else, and if that works, great, and if not, you try something else. You know, the thing is, if when you started, like, I look back now at where I was when I started, I don't know how I got here. You know, like, I'm like, I didn't understand anything. How on earth did I manage to be this successful?
And I think that's what's so intriguing and inspiring about the whole story, is that you're just like everyone else.
I am just like everybody else. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Right. You're just like me.
I am just like you. Now, again, you know, I'm a 4th-generation entrepreneur, so I'm probably a little less afraid of risk than you. But, you know, I mean, just go do it. Because, hey, you know, like the way the world is now, if you think like your job's gonna like keep you safe for a long time, you better think again about that.
Yeah.
Your jobs are all safe.
Your jobs are fine. No one worry. Your jobs are fine.
You know, but I mean, like, I'm in charge of my own destiny, you know? And so, and nobody can take that away from me, ever again.
That's incredible.
So, go do it.
Do it.
it.
If you have one piece of advice to give everyone while we wrap up here, what would you say to if you're, let's say, I have an amazing idea, I want to start it, but I'm too scared. I don't know what to do. Is there one thing you would say, just the first step? What's the first step?
Well, I want to answer your question. And my one piece of advice is you have no idea what you're capable of. You just don't know. There's so much inside of us, and I know this just sounds like so funny because it's not business advice really, but really, you know, along with the technical aspects of, you know, learning from StomperNet and how to get the traffic and all that, you know, like I had to learn that I could be successful and that I was worthy of being successful and that I was okay with all of that. And so that was really, it's a mind game more than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, so. I know you guys had last week had Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street.
The wolf.
The wolf. He says, act as if. That's it, act as if.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Act as if.
Yep. So.
That's a good one.
Probably not the answer you were looking for, but
that's
what I
a
would
fabulous
say.
answer. And I do think that's a fabulous answer. Thank you so much for coming.
You're so welcome. Thanks for
and
having
meeting
me.
with us. You're so incredible and inspiring, and
Thank you.
I know that people watching right now, all your fans and all your customers are just so thankful that you did make that decision to make the jump. And you really are just truly inspiring. And
thank you.
I really appreciate being here. We're here at the Room Live, and definitely come back and check us out later this week. Thursday night, Celebrity Liar with Hank Azaria, Matthew Perry, and who's the third? Kevin Pollak. It's going to be a really exciting show. So come back Thursday night and check us out at the Room Live whenever you can. And thank you so much, Julie. It was really
Thanks again for having me.
Thank you.
I paid all my dues, so I picked up my shoes. I got up and walked away. Oh, I was just a boy. I didn't know how to play. Worked hard and failed. Now all I can say is I threw it all